And Ellie's going to make her way over here within the next maybe 30 seconds, but she needs to be de-rigged. She's got things in her ears and things, and as she's running, here she is. Once again, Ellie Goulding moves in. How are you? Come to see you. Welcome. Join us. Of course, in the new album, first of all, welcome.
I'm a bit nervous. I don't usually do chat shows.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
But you do now, and it's good to have you on the chat show.
Thank you for having me.
But you're kind of second home here. You wrote a lot of your album in Dingle.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful part of the world. It's probably a great place to act as a kind of a muse of sorts. Did you find that? Is that why you went there? And
yeah, I discovered it when I played Other Voices festival a few years ago, and I was immediately taken by it. I remember flying in and I was tired and kind of moody, and then as soon as I got there, it changed my mood, and I really got on with everyone, and I found it to be a really peaceful, friendly place.
And a nice place to get into the groove for writing nice things.
Yeah, I was only there for a day the first time, but then I went back. I met a few people there, and I made friends with some people. And I went back, I think a few months later, and I spent a time there by myself. I took my guitar, I went on the ferry, and I hung out there and took it in, and I got a lot of inspiration from being there, yeah. Because
you always kind of sing, for the most part, sweet songs.
Do I?
Yeah, I think so. Well, things like that, and your song, you know, the ones that come around this time of year that you associate, that would be associated with you. And yet you were quite ambitious, you know, as a schoolgirl, I suppose, when you were very young, weren't you? I mean, you knew what you wanted to do in many respects.
Yeah, I mean, I actually wanted to act for a long time.
Did you?
I was always in the school plays, and I was always trying to be the main part. I never got the main part.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to do that. And then I actually started playing clarinet for a few years. I don't really know why. I think I had the choice between clarinet and piano, and I chose clarinet.
Yeah.
And my mum wasn't too happy about that, because by itself, in an orchestra, it sounds absolutely beautiful, and by itself, in a very small house where I shared my room with my two sisters, it was a little bit irritating.
Yeah, you mightn't be the most popular person in the house if you're
not
practicing the same song over and over.
But then guitar was a bit nicer, and then I taught myself guitar, and then I always wrote. I was always writing.
But you were the first in your family to get to university. Yeah. So, but to secure that place in university, you went a kind of unorthodox route, didn't you? So
yeah.
tell me about that.
Well, I was working like 3 jobs in like a gap year type thing. I went to college, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't think I could survive at uni. For some reason, I had this idea that I wasn't going to be able to do university. But then I discovered this uni in Canterbury, and I just wrote them a letter and just said, "Can you let me in?" And it must have been like a good letter. I can't remember what I wrote, but they just accepted me. So the first time I went to university, the first day I got there was the first time I'd ever been there. Right,
so you wrote the letter and said, look, as you say, a good letter, convincing.
It must have been.
From the heart. And then you went and threw it back in their face and said, I'm off now, see you.
I know.
Before you finished. Very, very good.
I know, they were so nice to let me in, and then I said, sorry, I'm going to quit.
So how did you let them know you were heading out of there, sort of finishing up?
I sent them a demo of stuff I've been writing and said, do you think this is worth me leaving? And they said, yeah. So they actually persuaded me to leave. Right,
so they encouraged you in and then said, get out.
Yeah, basically.
And go about your business.
They said, I mean, you can come back if it all fails.
Okay,
so at least I've still got that.
Yes, yeah, there's always an option if it all goes pear-shaped. But since then, obviously, you went on to enormous success. I want to get a flavour of that before we keep going in this interview. This is Ellie at her very, very best. Have a look at this.
I need your love, I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. Everybody's story-eyed, and everybody knows. Oh, everybody's story-eyed. All the lights that stop me turn to stone. You shine when I'm alone. Since we found out that anything could happen, gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, burn, burn.
So is that peculiar for you to look at that little medley? And if so, why so?
When I have to approve videos, I look at one version and then I don't watch it again because I don't know, it's weird. It's a bit weird watching myself. And I can't really dance or anything like that, so like I do cringe a bit when I watch myself in those videos, just like trying to do something. Yeah.
Well, it's going so well. I mean, you've been touring with Katy Perry and Bruno Mars, and you played at the White House, and you...
That was really weird.
Why?
Because I was by myself on a podium, and I played with this big band, and it was literally like I was by myself and there was no one else, and I was just singing like a Christmas carol to the Obamas and to whoever else was there, and I was like, the White House is in the background, and yeah, it was really bizarre.
And did the president run up and get a selfie with you, or did he just leave you alone?
I saw that.
It's all the rage at the moment.
No, we did have a photo together.
You
there,
did?
and he said, I like your coat.
That's good.
Yeah, I had like a big white coat on and he was very complimentary.
Very nice. Well, if you're the Danish Prime Minister, he might have hung around a little longer.
I know, I saw that. That was a bit weird, wasn't it?
He was having a bit of fun.
Not a great idea.
Probably not with the missus looking at him. So then you played at the royal wedding of...
That was before.
Oh, sorry, William and Kate, before that. And I'm just curious to know, how does the palace tell you shall play at the wedding? I mean, is it a guy on a white horse with a quill and a scroll? You shall play at the wedding, Miss Goulding.
Sadly not. I got quite a random phone call, and it was like a withheld anonymous number, and I didn't want to answer it because I always get a bit... I've got phone fear, so I don't really speak on the phone much. I just text, which is bad. I don't encourage it. So I got this call, and then I think I got someone else to answer it, and then they called back again a few weeks later, and it was just all very mysterious. Yeah. And then someone came down to watch myself and my band rehearse, and then that was kind of it. And then we just got like a few sort of... It was all kind of over email and stuff.
Yeah.
It was all
but you
very
got
mysterious.
there, and was it unnerving, or was it a joyous occasion? Was it fun?
Well, I still thought I was a decoy for someone else.
Did you?
Because everyone was talking about, like, every big musician was talking about it, and I really thought, oh God, I'm just like a cover-up for someone. But no, it actually happened. I really was their wedding singer.
And was it an enjoyable experience? Did you like it, or were you...
It was. I think it's safe to say it was one of the best nights of my life. Just because it was just mad. It was just crazy. It was obviously really nerve-wracking, and I think my band were nervous, and we were all just so nervous. But it was just one of those moments that you really will remember forever.
Can I ask you about some of your songs, because you put a lot of yourself into the lyrics for your songs, and I always wonder, particularly if a song does really well, do you ever worry about the people you're writing about thinking, do you know, Ellie, that's a little bit off colour, or do they say thank you or thanks, message delivered? Wouldn't that be easier to text them?
It's quite bizarre when a song that you write... it's quite mad when a song that you've written by yourself in your bedroom on your guitar, suddenly people are singing along to it, and people are tattooing the lyrics on them and quoting them on things, and that's happened a lot. And wrongly as well. People have...
They got the lyrics wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you read it and go into them?
And spelling mistakes.
Oh, you love that too, I'd say, yeah.
But yeah, that is quite weird. So I think when Burn became quite big, I was quite relieved because it was less of a personal song for me. When I've written some really personal songs.
Well, I know You Care, the song is about your dad, and he left the family set up when you were 5, and did he ever respond to that song? Did he ever let you know, I've heard that and that? No.
No.
And why did you write that?
I think because for quite a long time, because my dad left when I was really young, I think for ages I was really bitter and sad and angry about it. And then eventually I sort of had this this moment of, I don't know, it kind of passed, and I became instead just quite sort of, not forgiving, but
philosophical about it, maybe?
Yeah, just kind of accepting it and moving on, and I think that song was just me trying to accept that, I don't know, there was something, well, basically it's kind of in the title, I know you care, there's just something that's sort of got in the way or whatever. So I sort of became less bitter about the whole thing.
And yet, when you look at your your fame and success, all the videos and the glamour, and you've got 15 people doing your hair, I'm sure, and that kind of thing. And 2. That's 1 more than I have. In fact, it's 2 more than I have. But you have all that thing going on. But you had a moment during it all when the panic attacks started, and people would expect panic attacks to happen to people who are maybe lacking confidence, which clearly isn't the case.
Oh, I definitely, I still am quite shy, believe it or not.
Right.
I'm quite a shy person.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I think mainly it was geographical. I just was in so many places in one day, and before that I was living in a room in London by myself, just writing songs every day. and not really going anywhere. So going from that to suddenly being like going around Europe and even getting in cabs and just being in so many places at once.
It got too much.
Yeah, and I think my body just didn't really catch up with my mind or the other way around, and it caused my body to freak out. And basically, you know, when you're in a situation, well, not ordinarily you're in a situation where, I don't know, you get confronted by like a scary animal and you just want to, you're going to run away or you're going to fight it. And you sort of had that all the time, but just in normal situations, which didn't make any sense. So I could be sat here now and suddenly I'd go...
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes too. And how did you overcome them? How did you fix it?
Actually, I had therapy, like therapy sessions.
And that worked for you?
Yeah, and I haven't had one for about four years.
Good, so you're...
I'm healed and
You're
fine.
good to go. Every now and again we have you know, a very attractive woman from the UK coming to visit us, and when we do, we have to ask them, so are you going out with Niall Horan? Because they all seem to be they all seem to be linked with them down through... You know, people love to speculate about your love life, but why is that? And why is Niall Horan accused of going out with anyone that's well known in the UK, apart from the Queen?
I actually have been accused of going out with Niall Horan. Did you know that? No.
I didn't believe it. Was I wrong?
No, yes, yes.
So did you date him a little bit?
Oh, God.
A little bit?
He's a very good friend.
OK. Did you have a smooch?
He's a very good friend.
Anyway, I know, but isn't it? Do you find it peculiar again that people like me ask you questions like that?
Yeah, but you know, I get people think I'm going out with a lot of different people that I'm not and haven't been. Lately, if I'm even pictured with somebody, apparently we're dating, courting.
Okay, so courting.
Yeah, but I'm not courting anyone.
At the moment?
No.
Good. So, well, that settles that then, does it not? You're coming back to Ireland in March, sold out in the O2. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. So you'll be spending more time here. Yes.
I'd like to spend even more time here. I think that'll probably be like an in and out thing as well. But I would love to come back a bit more. So if we could just all find reasons for me to come back, that would be great.
We'll find some for you. It's been great having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Ellie Goulding, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Very well. Ellie's new album, Halcyon, is out now, and the concert I mentioned is next March in the O2, completely sold out, but I suspect, as we've been saying, we'll be seeing a lot more of Ellie here in the future.